Hey guys, thanks so much for being here for yoga class today. Today's class is called Yoga Time, simply because we're going to take time to do yoga. Now, I know sometimes we think things like, oh, I have to do my practice, or I need to work out, or feeling like scheduling in this time for yourself is maybe something that you don't want to do or something like that. But I want you to change your perspective and think about the fact that we don't have to do yoga. We don't have to do sports. We don't have to do our workout. We get to do this. We get to move and feel in our bodies. And when we move our physical body, then we're able to shift around any stuck emotion, also tension, congestion in the body. So movement is really a form of medicine for me, and I hope that that inspires you to come into your practice and move today. So with that being said, let's start in child's pose. In your child's pose, go ahead and start in a kneeling position. Also, you might want to have blocks for your practice if you have them in your home space. Now for our child's pose, we can have our knees wide with our big toes together. And if you're taking this option, you're going to reach your fingers forward as you lower your head towards the mat. This is a great way to gently come into hip opening. Now, alternatively, if you've been feeling some low back discomfort, then I suggest, as you set up for child's pose, that you take your knees together, feet together. Now, arms are going to come by your sides as you lower your forehead towards the mat. With your arms by your sides, now you're able to relax your shoulders. Feel flexion in the spine. And gently start to create space in the back area. Now, if your forehead doesn't come all the way down to the mat, don't worry. You can position a block underneath your forehead if you need help bringing the floor up to you. If you've got space between your hips and your heels, you can position a blanket or a pillow to close out that gap. Now let's bring our awareness to our breath. As you inhale deeply, feel the belly pressing to the thighs. As you exhale, feel the belly soften. Continue to bring awareness to each round of breath. Now practicing lengthening the breath, inhaling deeply all the way to the top of the breath, all the way until you can't take in any more air. And then when you're ready to exhale, release slowly and repeat. Now breathing in this way by lengthening the breath and coming into this shape of child's pose, we're able to downregulate, to calm the nervous system, to reduce anxiety and stress. This is a nice place to transition into our practice. Just letting everything go from the start of the day. And now bringing all of our attention, awareness, and focus into our bodies, into our practice, into our breath. Inhale deeply all the way to the top. Exhale, release, let go. On your next inhale, lift your head, peeling it off the mat. Take your hands under the shoulders. Now lift your hips, now transitioning to a tabletop position. As we set up for our tabletop position, we want the wrist underneath the shoulders. So thinking wrist in line with the shoulders. And then we want the knees in line with the hips. Looking at your hands, make sure you spread the fingers wide. Coming into some mobility for our back. As you inhale, let your belly lower towards the mat. Feel the tailbone lift. Exhale, lift the back as if you're going to tap the ceiling with your back. And then inhale, soften the belly again. Moving through these two movements and letting our breath be our guide. Noticing how this feels for the back, the shoulders, the hips. And from here, we'll gently start to draw circles with the hips. Now, anytime you're in a kneeling position, if you feel discomfort underneath the knees, this could be dependent on the type of floor that you're practicing on. Switch the the hip direction. If you're feeling that discomfort underneath the knees, then you can position a folded blanket. It's going to be more comfortable. And we bring gentle movement into the hips, and then we'll bring the hips to center, back to our neutral tabletop position. From here, let's rotate the fingers to the edges of the mat, and then rotating one hand at a time, fingers towards the knees. Now, coming into a deep stretch for the wrist, going into the forearms, we want to practice keeping the palms flat on the mat. We'll curl the toes and then press the hips back. Now, if the palms start to peel off the mat, then we're going to back out a little bit. Once you find the level of intensity that you'd like for the stretch for the forearms, pause and breathe. Lift the hips, gently come out. Uncurl the toes, rotate the fingers towards the sides of the mat, and then one hand at a time, rotate the fingers towards the tops of the mat. Now from here, flip one hand. So maybe you flip the right hand, press the top of the hand to the mat, draw a tiny little circle with your hips. You'll find an area that feels tight in the forearm. Pause and take a full round of breath there. Exhale, let the tension go. Lift the hand, shake it out. Position the palm back down onto the mat. Opposite hand flips, top of the hand presses to the mat. Take a tiny little circle with your hips. Pause, feel into that space. Lift the hand, shake it out. Press the palm back down. Now coming back into our neutral tabletop, look back to your knees. Bring your knees together, bring your feet together. We'll lift both feet, take them over to the left side of the mat. Now as you do this, notice that it'll be really comfortable to let the top of your left foot rest on the arch of your right foot. Once you have your feet positioned, walk your hands over towards your feet. Now feel a nice stretch in the right side body. Maybe you send the right hip back and to the right to go deeper. Take another round of breath. Bring the hips back to center. Walk the hands onto the mat. Lift the feet, take them to the mat. Inhale, lift the feet, take them over to the right. Now let the right foot, top of the foot, rest onto the arch of the left foot. Slowly walk your hands over towards your feet. Take a moment to feel into the left side body and then decide if you want to send the hips back and to the left. Hips find center, hands walk forward. Lift the feet, bring the feet back onto the mat. Now separate the knees. Take a full round of breath. From here, walk your hands towards your knees. You're going to come onto your seat. Now, for some of us, it might be comfortable to sit like this. I really prefer sitting in this way. If you want to sit like this, but this is too much compression for your knees, then you can take a block or two underneath your seat. And now when you sit on the blocks, now you've opened up the angle at your knees. So this might be more comfortable. And also you've got the hips higher up than the knees. So you can try this. Or you can sit directly down onto the mat with your legs in front if that's more comfortable. In this position, we'll let the arms come out by the sides. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, let go. Inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. And again, inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, back and down. Keep moving with your breath. Check in with yourself, how you feel in this moment. Hopefully you're feeling so much gratitude for having the time and space to get into your body and just have time in your yoga practice. In this way, serving yourself and paying attention to self-care. Now, the next time the shoulders go back and down, let the arms hang there. Inhale, sweep the arms up, fingertips towards the sky. Let the fingers interlace. Now, press the palms up, straighten the arms. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Pause and breathe. Maybe you close your eyes and notice where you feel sensation. From here, lift your chin, gaze forward, press the palms up. And on your next exhale, take both arms over to the left, keeping the right bicep above the right ear. Nice stretch in the right side body. The more you lean over to the left, the deeper you're going to feel the stretch on the right side. On your next inhale, lift the hands up, press the palms up to the sky. Exhale, take the arms over to the right. Now the left bicep is positioned above the left ear. Now feeling into the left side, giving time to let the tension ease out of the body. Inhale, press the arms up. Exhale, release, lower them down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Now as you exhale, twist to the left, let the fingertips lower down. Inhale, lift the arms back up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to the right. We'll take one more on each side. Inhale, find center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, spinal twisting to the right. Inhale, reach up. Now, exhale, bring the hands down the midline, thumbs to the heart center. Take a deep inhalation through the nostrils all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, slow release. Now from here, if you're sitting on your yoga blocks, go ahead and lift out, remove them, set them out to the side. You might want to come onto them later. Now we'll transition back into tabletop as a transition to get us to our first downward facing dog. So the hands reach forward. Remember, fingers are spread wide. Send the knees back, curl the toes, lift the hips way up high, and then press them back. Now, as you come into your downward facing dog, notice how the legs feel. If your hamstrings are tight, bend the knees. If the hamstrings are more open, you can straighten the legs. Now, whichever leg option you're in, send your chest towards your thighs. Feel a nice deep stretch at the back of the thighs, at the hamstrings. And by sending weight into the low body, by sending the chest towards the thighs, we're taking pressure out of the shoulders. Take a deep bend in the left knee. With the right leg straight, feel a nice stretch going up the leg into the hip, and then switch it up. Straighten the left leg, deep bend in the right knee. Pause and feel into the left side, and then move from side to side. Warming up the legs, noticing how the legs and the hips feel today. Take one more knee bend on each side. Let's see if you can straighten both legs. Finding mobility in our practice, inhale, shift forward, plank position. Now, see if you can hold here for a few rounds of breath. In your plank position, think about pulling the belly button up towards the spine, building strength in the core, strength in the arms. And on your next exhale, shift back to downward facing dog. Moving with the breath, inhale, plank position, mobility for the shoulders. Exhale, down dog. And we'll take one more. Inhale, shift forward, plank position. Exhale, it's down dog. Slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Taking your time to make your way to the top of the mat. And as you do this, graze your fingertips up your feet, up to the shins. Once the palms find the shins, take a half lift, reach the crown of the head forward. Reach the tailbone back, energetically lengthening the spine. Feel into the hamstrings. Soften the knees, and as you exhale, fold forward. Now, as you fold forward, the arms can dangle, or you can take your hands to opposite elbows, framing your head with your arms. Now checking to see if you can straighten the legs a little more. Just shake the head from side to side, and then forward and back. Just reminding yourself to release the head. There's no need to hold it up. Let it go. Let the crown of the head point down towards the mat, releasing any excessive thoughts. We don't need those thoughts right now. We're having our yoga time. We're just practicing being in our body and enjoying this movement. If you'd like, you can come back to bending one knee at a time. And as one leg straightens, send the hip back of the straight leg for more intensity. In this time of our movement medicine, of our practice, we get to know our body, where it is, where we're holding the tension. And then we take the time to release that tension through our movement. If your hands are on your elbows, gently release. Inhale, take a half lift. Now, coming into pyramid pose, you can do this with blocks or not. I'm going to demonstrate with the blocks, taking them outside of the feet. I'll lift my right foot, step it back halfway. Both legs are straight. From here, on an exhale breath, I'm going to fold forward. Now bringing my torso towards my left leg. As I bring my torso towards my left leg, I feel a deeper stretch in the hamstring. Here we can take a little micro movement with the intention of sending the left hip slightly back, right hip slightly forward. On the next inhale, take a half lift. As you exhale, step the right foot in line with the left and go into your fold. Maybe you abandon the blocks for this. Inhale, half lift again. Exhale, left foot steps halfway back. Both legs are straight. And then when you're ready, fold forward. Now the torso is coming towards the right leg, feeling into the right side. Think about sending that right hip back, left hip forward, little micro movement here. Deeper stretch for the hamstring. Getting into the back of the body. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, left foot meets the right and fold. Option to keep the hands on the blocks or not. Inhale, half lift. Now this time we're gonna lift the right foot. I'm going to take the blocks forward. So we're coming into a supported warrior 3. Now, as we do this, we want to square the hips. The foot that's lifted, it's going to be the right foot for me. We want to flex the foot. Imagine that you're pressing it up against a wall behind you. If you notice that your hips are stacking and you've got your right hip above your left, lower the right hip so that it's in line with the left. Now, feel into your standing leg. Notice where you're feeling the sensation. And then slowly bring the right foot down in line with the left. Exhale, fold. Forward folds are so relaxing for our system. Inhale, half lift, hands to the blocks. Now we're going to pick up the opposite foot. So left foot lifts up, flex the foot, square the hips. Remember, if the hips are stacking, you want to bring them in line with each other. Feel into the standing leg. Feel the balance, feel the support of the blocks if you're using them. If not, you can challenge yourself by flying the arms. And gently lower the left foot down to the mat in line with the right. And on your next exhale, come into a forward fold. Feel the hamstrings opening more and more. Inhale, half lift, rise up, hands find the blocks. Take the blocks outside of the feet. Pick up the right foot, step the toes way back. Now we're coming into a supported lunge. We want to have a bend at the left knee. We want the left knee tracking above the left ankle. The right heel is lifted. Now, as you keep a bend in the left knee, press the right heel back. Maybe you shift forward and back, little micro movements. Maybe you start to draw circles with your right heel and then circle around opposite direction. Notice how this feels for your hip. You'll feel this in the front of the right hip at the hip flexor. Now from here, gently lower the right knee down to the mat. Keep the toes curled for a nice stretch underneath the toes. This is a place where we hold a lot of stress and tension, so we can let that go. Then we're gonna walk the hands back. Now, keeping the knee above the ankle, press the hips forward. This is a great counter stretch if you spend a lot of time sitting in a chair. Hands can stay on the blocks, or you can take your hands to your thigh. Taking your hands to your thigh, press your hips forward even more. If you'd like a chest opener, shoulder opener, you can bring your hands behind your body, interlace your fingers, press your palms together, open your heart, little back bend, gaze up. Exhale, release. Hands find the blocks. Take the blocks outside. Left block outside of the left foot, right block to the right side of the mat. Now use your energy to come off of the right knee. From here, we're going to practice a transition of taking the hands to the mat. Let the blocks come forward. And then take the left toes back. So we're back in our plank position, just like we did at the start of our practice. See if you can hold here for a couple more rounds of breath. Pull the belly button up towards the spine and try to keep your body in a long line. And now lift, downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment to feel into your down dog. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Inhale, find your half lift. Take your hands to your blocks. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Now from here, bring the right block outside of the right foot. Left block outside of the left foot. Lift the left foot, take the toes way back. Now we're coming into our supported lunge on this side. Now we want the right knee tracking above the right ankle. Just feeling into this side, we're on the left toes, the heel is lifted. Keeping a bend in the right knee, press the left heel back. And then draw little circles with the left heel. And then opposite direction. Simply taking time to feel into the body. Gently lower the left knee down to the mat. Keep the toes curled. Remember, we're letting go of stress and tension from that area. And then walk the blocks back so you've got your shoulders in line with your hips. Option to keep your hands on the blocks. Gaze is forward. Option to take your hands to your thigh. Press the hips forward more. Now, if you want to take that heart opener, shoulder opener, you can bring your hands behind your low back, interlace your fingers, press your palms together, open your heart, gaze up, and then exhale, release. Take your hands to your blocks. Bring them towards the front leg. Come off of the right knee. Now we're going to take our hands back down to the mat. So take the blocks forward, give yourself space. Lift the right foot, take it back. Coming back to working on our core, plank position. Breathe. Feel into the body. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Once your feet get there, to give yourself a little more space, go ahead and remove the blocks off to the side. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, fold. Forward fold, Uttanasana. An opportunity to decompress the spine. Now bend the knees and slowly rise up. Taking your time, rolling up to standing, letting your head come up last to prevent you from getting dizzy. And as you find your standing position, bring your arms by your sides, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. So we look down to our feet. Our feet are hip distance when we look down to them. There's enough space to fit one more foot between our 2 feet. Find that alignment. And then here you can take your hands to your hips. Lean weight into the right foot. Step the left toes back. Just like we did with the blocks, but now not supported with the blocks. Now we're in our crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the arms forward, gaze forward. Right knee is bent. Now here you can stay still, or you can take movement in your practice. You can lower the knee towards the mat and then straighten the back leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, straighten. One more time. Movement following the breath. From here, open the arms, rotate that left foot, the back foot to 90 degrees. Come into your warrior 2. Fingers are reaching in opposite directions. Gaze is to the right middle finger. Right knee is bent. Press to the pinky edge of the left foot. Now we're going to reverse our warrior. So we're going to let the backhand find the thigh. Inhale, reach the fingers up, and then maybe you reach overhead. Come back to your warrior 2. Press into your front foot, straighten the leg, reach the fingers forward, and then rotate the arms for your triangle. Reach the top fingers up towards the sky. Feel a nice stretch at the inner thigh. Inhale, rise up. Now reverse your triangle, just moving the arms, keep the legs straight. Shift back to your warrior 2. Bend your right elbow, bring your forearm to your thigh. Reach your fingers up and overhead. Long line of energy, reach, press the foot to the mat. Now here you can take the option of bringing your arm behind your back, reaching your fingers for your inner thigh, if you want to go for the bind. If not, you can keep your arm lifted and reach overhead. Now using your energy on your next inhale, come back to warrior 2, moving with the breath. Exhale here. Inhale, arms rise up, straighten the leg. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. We're gonna take one more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, it's warrior two. Now from here, press into the leg, into the foot, straighten the leg. Rotate the toes so that all 10 toes are facing the same direction. Now from here, hands are gonna find the hips. Inhale, open the heart, bring the elbows towards each other. Exhale, dive forward and fold. Now, as you come into the fold, take the hands off the hips, bring the hands down to the mat. Relax the head. Allow yourself time to breathe here. Inhale, take a half lift. Bring your left hand under your face. On your next inhale, twist to the right, reach the right fingers up. Exhale, lower the hand down, take that. Inhale, reach the arm up, twist. Exhale, lower the hand down. Take both hands to the hips. Inhale, rise up, crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Now we're going to take that standing sequence on the other side. So opposite foot turns now to the back of the mat. As you turn your foot to the back of the mat, make sure that you bend your knee, and then your back foot is going to rotate. So you're going to lift the heel, come onto the toes. So now we're coming into our crescent lunge on this side. Inhale, arms sweep up. Option to stay here or moving with the breath. Inhale, bend the knee towards the mat. Exhale, straighten the leg. We've got two more if you're taking this option. Your movement following your breath. Now, as we straighten the back leg, rotate the heel to 90. Open the arms, it's warrior two. Gazing to the front middle finger. Front knee is bent, pressing to the pinky edge of the back foot. Now reversing our warrior, we're going to lower our back hand. Inhale, lift the fingers up. Reach overhead. Keep a bend in the knee. Back to warrior two. Press into the front foot. Straighten the leg. Reach the fingers forward and then rotate the arms. Reaching the top fingers up. Maybe you gaze up, but if this hurts your neck, rotate your face to look down to the mat. Now, as you inhale, just rotate the arms to warrior two and then reverse your triangle. From here, we'll transition back to our warrior two, setting up for extended side angle. Bend the left elbow, lower the forearm to the thigh, reach the fingers up and then overhead, long line of energy. Reach, reach, reach. Now remember, if you want to take a different option, you can bring your arm behind your back, reaching your fingers for the inside of the thigh. If that's too much for you, no worries. You can stay in the extended side angle. Preparing to come out, finding our way back to our warrior two, moving with the breath. Inhale, arms rise up, legs straightens. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior two. We've got one more round, movement following the breath. Feels so good to move in our bodies. Now from here, press to the foot again. Rotate the toes, same direction, all 10 toes, same direction. Now from here, when you look down to your feet, rotate the toes out, heels in. Take a deep bend in the knees, but not so much that your hips are going lower than your knees. As you do this, take your palms to the middle of your thighs. Make sure you're not pressing on your knees. Now, with the torso centered, take an inhale breath. As you exhale, let one shoulder dip forward. Inhale is going to bring the torso back to center. Exhale, opposite shoulder dips. Inhale, center. We're spinal twisting. Exhale, shoulder dip. Movement following the breath. Feeling into our bodies for our yoga time. Now, once you come back to center and you've evened out the sides, press your feet to the mat, straighten the legs. Keep the legs wide, arms are by your sides. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. As you exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Inhale, straighten the limbs. Exhale, bend. One more. Now lower the hands down. Heel toe the feet back to hip distance. And then find your way onto the top of the mat. With your arms by your sides, inhale, sweep the arms up, gathering energy. Let the palms meet. Exhale, hinge at the hips, come back into your forward fold. Give yourself some time here. Bringing sensation back to the hamstrings, noticing if you need to bend the knees or not. Maybe you come back to taking your hands to opposite elbows, or maybe you simply let your arms dangle. This is up to you. Now transitioning from our standing forward fold, which is also an inversion, we're going to bend our knees deeply. And as we bend our knees deeply, we'll pick up the right foot, bring the right shin down. Pick up the left foot, bring the left shin down. Let's come back into our child's pose, giving ourselves an opportunity to ground down. Completely letting your entire body sink down. Positioning your body in the shape of a little ball. Completely surrendering to this pose, to this practice. Just letting yourself sink down into the mat. On your next inhale, lift your head. Slowly start to rise up. Finding that straight spine for axial extension. We're now going to change the station of our body again. So we'll take our feet out to one side so that we can come onto our seat. Now, as we come onto our seat, just position the legs in a way that's comfortable for you. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Come back to that sensation of stretch in the back of the neck, upper back, maybe even the shoulders. Now on your next inhale, rotate your right ear above your right shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest, and then left ear above left shoulder. Inhaling to the right. Exhaling to the left. Just feeling your body moving from side to side. Just the head is moving. Trying to keep the rest of the body still. And if you notice that one side of the neck feels tighter, you can pause, hold, breathe, let the tension go. Maybe you take a different variation of rotating your chin towards your shoulder, feeling the stretch in a slightly different place. And then taking it to the other side, if you'd like some more time there as well. Option of rotating the chin towards the shoulder. As you even out the sides, bring the chin back to center. Lift the head, gaze forward. From here, bring the feet forward. As you bring your feet forward, we'll take an opportunity to come into a seated balance. So bring your right arm to the inside of the knee, left arm to the inside of the left knee. Take your peace fingers, your index and middle finger, to hook onto your big toes. So right peace fingers hook onto the right big toe, left peace fingers hook onto the left big toe. Now, when you're ready, we're gonna balance in our seat. You're gonna just lift the heel of your right foot, lean back, lift the heel of your left foot. Great, you're already in your seated balance. If you wanna go deeper, you can lift the ankles in line with the knees. Now, really important, if your chest is collapsing, open your heart, send it forward. Imagine there's a string at your heart being pulled up from the sky. If this is okay and you want to go deeper, you can straighten one leg and maybe you explore that option, taking it on the other side. You might even straighten both legs at the same time. Send the heart forward. And then gently bend the knees, guide the feet all the way back to the mat. Release your peace fingers from your big toes. Take your hands behind you. Now from here, you can take this seated or reclined. If you're seated, you're gonna lift one foot, bring the ankle to the thigh, slide the opposite heel towards the glute, and then press your chest towards your legs. If you rather do this with a neutral spine and you don't wanna hold yourself up, then you're gonna get reclined. Now, I'm starting off with the left leg. So I've taken my left ankle to my right thigh. Then I'll lift my right foot, position my right ankle in line with the right knee. From here, my left hand reaches through the legs, and then my right hand comes around the outside of the right leg. Now my palms are resting at my right hamstring. From here, I can pull the right leg towards my body, and I feel a nice deep stretch in my left hip. You can draw circles with your big toe to get mobility for your ankle. And then circle around opposite direction. The more you pull the thigh towards your body, the deeper you're going to feel the stretch for the hip. So just notice how far you need to go. Don't let the tailbone lift. Release the hands. Take the arms down. Gently bring the right foot down to the mat. Lift the left foot. Take the left foot down to the mat. Take a full round of breath. Inhale through the nostrils. Exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Lift the right foot. Bring the right ankle to the left thigh. Just above the knee. We just don't want to have bone on bone, so avoid putting the ankle on the knee. Now from here, lift the left foot, position the ankle in line with the knee. Take the right hand between the legs, left arm around the outside of the left thigh. Fingers interlace. Palms are at the thigh. Now pull the left thigh towards the body. Feel a stretch in the right hip. This is a great area to pay attention to. The hips usually are carrying a lot of stress and stuck energy. So it's really nice to visit this area and get some relief here. You can draw circles with the big toe for ankle mobility. And then on the opposite side. Bring the ankle to stillness. Enjoy another round of breath in our reclined figure four. Exhale, release the hands. Gently lower the left foot to the mat. Release the right foot. Bring the sole of the right foot to the mat. Once both feet are grounded, take a full round of breath. Inhale deeply all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, gently release. Now with your heels in line with your glutes, take one of your blocks. As you inhale, press your feet to the mat, arms by your sides, slide a block underneath your sacrum. If you're not sure where that is, find the waistband of your pants. The lower part of the waistband, the block is going to go under that. So think block more underneath the booty rather than at the low back. We don't want the block on the low back. Now here you can hold on to the block. This is going to be more surface area if you're using the bottom height. If you want to go deeper, you can rotate the block to the mid height. Just make sure that you're not feeling any pinching in your low back. If you're feeling pinching, then you're going to want to readjust your block so that you don't cause nerve damage. Now, you can keep the knees bent, or you can extend your legs, bringing your heels to the mat. Hands can stay holding the block, or if you feel really stable, then you can bring your arms by your sides. Now, focusing on opening the front of the body, feeling a really great stretch for the psoas muscle. This is a really important muscle that connects the femur bones to the low back. So anytime we're feeling low back discomfort, or we've spent a lot of time sitting in a chair, this is a really great posture to take. And also the knee down lunges, when we press our hips forward, it's really great to ease the stress and tension out of that space. And this is also the muscle, it's known as the muscle of the soul, and it's known to hold the emotion of fear. So if we're feeling fearful or anxious, psoas openers are a really great opportunity to let that emotion go. Now let the prop do its job of holding you up, and just breathe. Gently and slowly, starting to prepare to come out, we'll bend the knees. Soles of the feet meet the mat. Lift the hips, press the feet to the mat, release the block from underneath. Slowly roll down, bone by bone, repositioning your back on the mat, back to a neutral spine. Now we're going to start to close our practice. So you might extend your legs in Shavasana position, or if you'd like to work with hip opening, you might bring the soles of the feet together, and then I highly recommend taking blocks underneath the thighs. This way you don't have to hold the legs up, but you're letting the blocks provide a nice shelf for the thighs to rest on. Now we're able to open the hips with external rotation, feeling into the inner thighs. We let the arms go to the sides, really resting and offering ourselves time of integration in our practice. For our practice today, I recommend 5 to 7 minutes of Shavasana. This really important time, not only of integration from our practice, but just giving ourselves permission to be present in our bodies, knowing that there's nowhere more important to be than in our own body, practicing this presence, this offering of just being, not giving ourselves pressure of always doing. And in this offering of being with ourselves in our practice, we allow ourselves to relax. If you feel compression at the back of the neck, just tuck the chin towards the chest. Let your eyes close, bringing the gaze inward. Feel so much gratitude for this time of your practice, the space that you can practice in. This opportunity to serve yourself through movement, offering yourself self-care and awareness. Bring awareness back to the breath and lengthening the breath, taking longer, deeper, slower inhalations and exhalations. If you are ready to come out of your practice, feel free to do so. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for a few more minutes, please feel free to do so. We'll close our practice here together today. Thank you so much for joining me, for allowing me to guide you. It is my deepest honor to share this beautiful practice with you. The light in me sees, honors, and recognizes the light within you. Namaste.